All right. Good afternoon, everyone. If I ask a question about where do you think is the pickpocket capital of the world? Where do you think that is? France? Yes, that's right. That's right. Actually, because why I ask this question is when we think of crimes, sometimes we think about African countries generally, Nigeria. So I'm not talking about Nigeria today. I'm actually talking about London, which is close to France in being the pickpocket capital of the world. So, according to the Metropolitan Police, that's the local police in London, a phone is stolen every 5 to 7 minutes. One phone is stolen every 5 to 7 minutes, which annually they have a reported case of about 80,000 to 116,000 phones being stolen annually. And then we don't even talk about recovering because it's very, very difficult to recover. 14,000 phones were recovered between 20 to 2018, 2017 to 2024. That's between 7 years. So my name is Jamila Umar Abdullahi. I work with the Nigerian Communications Commission. I have experience from procurement, IT, and now cybersecurity. And I'm here to talk about two lessons I've learned in London while I was robbed. So, in 2012, I had just moved to London to start my master's degree, and my friend picked me up upon arrival. My friend picked me up from the airport, and we went to her house before I finally now moved to the hostel. So the plan was to stay with her for 2 days while I finish getting familiar with the areas around, and she'll now help me get, like, all the things you need to start as a student. And I think I arrived on a Friday, so we did all the shopping on Saturday and Sunday. Then on Monday it was time to go to school. Now, I am someone that likes exploring when I'm in a new place. I don't like to take taxis. I don't like to take the easy way out. I like to use the public transportation system. So she was like, "Oh, let me take you to school." And I was like, "No, don't worry. I'll find my way around. Don't worry, I'm fine." So I came out of her house. Her house is very close to a station, one of the biggest stations in London. I was on my way, and I just brought out my phone trying to see what platform I should take when I get into the train station. And before you know it, I was holding my phone like this, and I just saw someone. I don't know where the person came out from. The person just grabbed the phone and started running. For some time, I was shocked. Like, I stood there still before I now realized what had happened to me, because I don't know anybody there. And I was like, oh, just that was when it now occurred to me that I had just been robbed. And then the funny thing with people there is that they, in Nigeria, when somebody, like, they will just look at you. They are seeing what is happening in broad daylight, robbery. The guy was running towards people coming to the station because it's a very busy station, and those people were just looking at him. That was when there was just one guy that now saw what happened and now started chasing him, and I followed the guy behind him. But because the place is a big place, we couldn't know where the guy went. And before you know it, I just started crying. I was shocked. I didn't know how to now go to school because I don't know what platform to take. So everything was on my phone. Before you know it, the guy that followed him now came to console me, called the police. The police came. They tried to console me. I had to now report the case. I had a case number. Up till today, I have that case number, but nothing had been done on that. And so from there, the police actually took me to school, dropped me at school. So I think That was just an experience I had. But I was very thankful, honestly. I was thankful because I had my whole school fees in my bag. My whole school fees was right there in my bag because I went with my card and the card refused to work in school. So I had to bring cash. Yeah. So I had to work with my bank and they arranged someone to give me money in London. I had to write an undertaking, send to them, like so many things. But I was so thankful because I kept saying, what if he took my bag instead of the phone? My school fees would have been gone. I don't know where another school fees will be coming from. So, in summary, I've learned a lesson because, whatever happens to you in life, it's teaching you something. So I've learned two lessons from this experience. One is that whenever I'm out like that, I don't bring my phone out again, especially in a new environment. I am very aware of this. The second lesson I've learned is wherever you go, be aware of your environment. Be very aware of your environment. You have to be familiar with the place before you now become comfortable. I was just comfortable. I felt, oh, London was safe because that was the first time I was in the country. So I just felt, oh, it's safe. But truly, it's not. This is just one experience. I've had another one with my phone again in London. But this is story for another day. So, in conclusion, I learned the hard way that you should always be aware of your environment. Thank you so much.